How many days it is available in the chat? No idea.
20 days.
20 days. Because I have seen many are not getting like that. They were complaining. Okay. Find the Z transform and region of convergence of this signal 0.6 raised to n u of n plus 0.4 raised to n u of n. So to get the Z transform, we are applying the formula of the Z transform, applying the limits from summation limits from 0 to infinity. There are two signals, okay, two exponential signals multiplied with the positive sided step signal. So two signals are there. So apply the Z transform separately, then using that infinite geometric sum series formula, I can expand this with the condition. Okay, so I am expanding this using the geometric sum series formula as 1 upon 1 minus c. So c is your c raised to n is here it is 0.6 raised to n. So 0.6 raised to n z raised to minus n. So that can be together can be written as 0.6 z inverse whole raised to n. So c is here 0.6 into z inverse. So that can be written as 1 upon 1 minus c. So 1 upon 1 minus 0.6 z inverse plus again the same way you can expand the other signal also 1 upon 1 minus c where c is there it is 0.4 into z inverse. So separately I expanded it using the sum series formula. Now you can find out the region of convergence. So region of convergence is 0.6 z inverse should be less than 1. That is the condition for that sum series formula. The same formula you can apply here. So 0.6 into z inverse should be less than 1. The other side it is 0.4 into z inverse should be less than 1. So if you take z to the denominator, I can write 0.6 by z should be less than 1. 0.4 by z should be less than 1. So again, if I take z to the other side, then I can write it as z, the magnitude of z should be greater than 0.4, and this side the magnitude of z should be greater than 0.6. Now from the properties of region of convergence, it is understood that if we have two signals, okay, on the same side, because here both signals are on the positive side, on the same side, then region of convergence should be of the highest one. If it is greater, then you are getting, if it is on the right hand side, then the region of convergence should be of that of the highest value of z. Okay, so if I plot it graphically, things will be more clear. If I plot it in the z plane, first you have the circle with radius 0.4. Okay, you can draw the circle with radius 0.4. Then you can draw a circle with radius 0.6. So I am drawing the circle with 0.6 and 0.4. Now the region of convergence should be greater than the highest value of r. So here it will be the region of convergence will be lying outside the circle with radius r equal to 0.6 or with z value greater than z value 0.6. Similarly for the next one, find the z transform and region convergence of 2 raised to n u of n, 3 raised to n u of minus n minus 1. So same type of signals. The problem here it is in the sense the signal here it is second signal is shifted and that is folded also. So I have given in the steps for doing the Z transform of such kind of signal. So let us apply the Z transform for this. That is 2 raised to n u of n, 3 raised to n u of minus n minus 1. If we apply the Z transform separately, what I did here for the second signal, I changed the limit of summation because it is shifted. Okay, shifted signal. So shifted by 1 unit. Okay, so that limit you have to tell. That is from, and it is on the negative side. It is folded also. That you can make out from the signal u of minus n minus 1. From the signal you can make out is
Hello, ma'am.
minus.
Ma'am, your voice is too low.
Ma'am, you are not audible, ma'am.
What about now? Same condition.
It's low, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. It's low.
What about now?
Now okay, ma'am.
Applying the from the signal u of minus n minus 1. So look that step signal. It is shifted signal, that is minus 1 is the shifting process. It is shifted by 1 unit. Then it is minus n, negated time. Okay, so that is, it is the folded signal. So you can now see the limits. Instead of showing it in the signal, I am showing the shifting and the folding in the limits of summation. So signal will be extending from minus 1 to infinity. Okay, and in the next step what I will do, sorry, it is from minus infinity to it will be extending from infinity to minus 1. Okay, then in the next what I will do, I will interchange the limits. Okay, it was from minus infinity to minus 1. I will change it to 0 to infinity. Okay, so one more step if you want to see, you can show it here. That is, so here I can make it minus infinity to 0. I can do, if I do minus infinity to 0, then I should subtract a 1 from here. Okay, I have to subtract a 1 from here. Now, so minus infinity to minus 1, then I will subtract a 1 from the term, so that I can now change the limits from minus infinity to 0. Now again I have to change the limits from minus infinity to 0. I will change it to 0 to infinity. So what will be the changes happening inside? 3 raised to n will change to 3 raised to minus n. Z raised to minus n will change to z raised to n. So both steps in a single thing I have shown here. Next, apply the formula for the Z transform. Then you will get here 1 upon 1 minus C. So what is the C value here? 2Z inverse for the first term, and the second term it is 3 inverse Z. Okay, so this is the Z transform of this signal. Now to find the region of convergence, just rearranging the terms, that only I did in the next first and second steps. Now after that, to find the region of convergence, 2Z inverse should be less than 1 and 3 inverse Z should be less than 1. So these are the two conditions to be met. So one thing we got, Z should be greater than 2. The other one you got, Z should be less than 3. So Z should lie between 2 and 3. So let us show it geographically here, grammatically. So in that, if you draw, we have two circles. R2 is equal to 3. Then R1 is equal to 2. So the region of convergence, one case is R1 should be Z value should be greater than 2. The other case, Z value should be less than 3. So the common area is coming is between the circles with radius 2 and 3, or Z value should, the region of convergence lies between the Z value 2 and 3. So this is the solution of that numerator. Now let us, instead of whatever you have done here, the second numerical, you can skip few steps if you learn the Z transform theorems and properties. Okay, here you have seen here the signal with folded signal and time shifted signal. Okay, so we have changed the limits, we have subtracted a 1 from here. All these steps can be skipped if you directly apply the properties and if you proceed with the analysis using the properties. So let us understand few properties of the Z transform. So let us let us take a signal x of n, another signal y of n. Let x of z be the Z transform of x of n, and y of z be the Z transform of y of n. If you apply weighted Z transform to the weighted sum of signal. What is the weighted sum of signal? Ax of n plus by of n is the weighted sum of signal. So if you apply the Z transform to such signal, you will get a into x of z plus b into y of z. That is Z transform of weighted sum of the signals independently you will get. So this was the case of, okay. Now let us go to the next property of the signal, that is a shifted signal. If a signal is shifted by certain time interval, okay. So if again consider a signal x of n whose Z transform is x of z. So for such a signal, if there is a shift happening for a x of n, if the signal is shifted by m units. So let us take the first case where the signal is shifted by x of n minus m. So we have two types of shifting. The signal can be advanced, signal can be delayed. Okay. So here the shifting is n minus m. So what is happening in the Z transform? If the Z transform of x of n is x of z, then the Z transform of x of n minus m is z raised to minus m x of z. Okay, and if the shifting is n plus m, then the Z transform is z raised to m x of z. Okay, so directly you can apply this formula if the signal is shifted by m units. If it is minus m, it will be raised to minus m. If it is shifted by plus m units, then it will be z raised to m. Just multiply the Z transform, that is the x of z, with this z raised to minus m and z raised to m. Now let us take the case of one-sided signal. That was two-sided signal. The signal can be one-sided also. So if it is one-sided, then the formula is entirely different. You can see here the formula for the shifted signal, that is delayed signal and the advanced signal. Z raised to minus m x of z, that is there, plus other terms also will get added. Okay, so when you do a numerical, then only you will come to know what is this I, m minus I and all. That things will be more clear if you do a numerical of a one-sided signal. Okay, but you have to by heart this formula for the one-sided signal. Both formula you can see it is different in both cases. Here it is I equal to 1 to m, but in the other case it is I equal to 0 to m minus 1. Okay, entire things are different. Now the another formula is if a signal is multiplied by an exponential sequence, that is a raised to n is an exponential sequence. If the exponential sequence is multiplied with your signal, then to find the Z transform of such signal is you will get the Z transform as x of A inverse Z. Directly a raised to n x of n can be written as x of A inverse Z. You have solved many numericals based on this. Okay, you have done many numericals of this kind till now. Z transform, that is A raised to n of x of n. So directly you can write, no need to tell that geometric sum series and all, you need not specify. Directly mention that if by the property of Z transform, if the signal is multiplied by an exponential sequence, this line should be there. That is Z transform of A raised to n x of n is equal to x into x of A inverse Z. So this line, if you mention directly, you can use that property and expand and obtain the Z transform as well as ROC. Now the next one is differentiation of x of Z. That is, if the signal is multiplied by n, and if you find the Z transform of such signal, that will be equal to the differentiation of the signal in the Z transform. That is, multiplication by n is equal to differentiation in Z transform. So n into x of n, Z transform is minus z into differentiation of x of z by dz. Let us see if n is raised to some value, it has some power. If n is having, then how you will expand it in the z plane. So n raised to mx of n will be equal to minus z d by dz raised to mx of z. Okay, minus z, that is, if it is 2, then you have to differentiate twice. If it is 3, you have to differentiate thrice. The Z transform, whatever algebraic equation you are getting x of z, that has to be differentiated to the power of n. Now another property is if the Z transform of conjugated signal, that is x conjugate n, to find the Z transform of such signal, which is equal to x conjugate of Z conjugate. Again, this also when you do the numerical, then only this will be clear. So Z transform of x conjugate, the conjugate of the signal is x conjugate of Z conjugate. Now the property of time reversal. This also you might have done just now on numerical. That is, a signal if it is shifted by n units, okay, that is x of minus n. If the signal is x of minus n, the Z transform will be x of Z inverse. Now the convolution of the signal. We have studied the convolution, that is x of n star y of n. That is the convolution which we have studied. The convolution will be changed to multiplication in Z transform. Okay, so this was the convolution which you have done. You have done by the matrix method to solve x of n convolutes y of n. This convolution process you have done using the matrix method. Okay, now if I transform the signal directly to Z plane, then the convolution will change to multiplication. So Z transform will be more easy in the, for the convolution process, that will be more easy in the Z plane. You have to just do the multiplication of the Z transform of x of z and y of z. Now initial value theorem. Let us consider the signal whose limits is from 0 to infinity. Now initial value of x of n is given by the z transform as x of 0 is equal to limit z tends to infinity x of z. Similarly, you can find the final value of the signal. Final value of x of n is again given in terms of z transform as x of infinity, which is the final value, that is equal to limit z tends to 1, 1 minus z inverse x of z. So these are the few theorems of the Z transform. So let us solve two numerical based on these properties, whether we can apply the properties. So let us take first one. Find the one-sided Z transform. Sorry, one-sided. Find the Z transform. Find the Z transform of the signal. X of n is equal to n into a raised to n minus 1. Okay, so here two parts are there. That is, the signal is a raised to n minus 1 into n. Let us take x1 of n as a raised to n. Okay, x1 of n as a raised to n. So what is the z transform of that? x1 of z, if I do n equal to 0 to infinity, x1 of n z raised to minus n, that is a raised to n z raised to minus n, you will get a z inverse of n. Okay, so that is 1 upon 1 minus a z inverse, or z upon z minus a. Now let us see whether when the signal is shifted by 1 unit. Okay, that is x1 of n minus 1. So it is a raised to n minus 1. Can you understand? Instead of directly taking the signal a raised to n minus 1, what I did, first I considered a signal a raised to n as x1 of n and applied the z transform. So I got it as z upon z minus a. Now what is your actual signal here? A raised to n minus 1. So now after finding the z transform, what I did, I changed now the signal to n minus 1. It is shifted now, a raised to n minus 1. Now by shifting property, just now we learned the shifting property, that is z transform of a shifted signal will be equal to z raised to m, isn't it? Here it is z raised to minus 1. So it will be z raised to minus 1 into x1 of z. Okay, z raised to minus 1, since it is n minus 1 here, so that z will be raised to minus 1. So z inverse into x1 of z. Now what is your x1 of z? You already found out it as z upon z minus a. So this z will get cancelled, so that will be equal to 1 upon z minus a. So z transform of x1 of n minus 1 is equal to, okay, the same thing is repeated.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, attendance.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Posted, ma'am. Okay.
All of you have given the attendance? Can I start?
Yes, ma'am.
First we shifted the signal and using the shifting property we applied Z inverse into x1 of Z. So Z inverse into Z upon Z minus A. Now we have another part also. Your actual signal is n into a raised to n minus 1. So your signal is x of n is equal to n into a raised to n minus 1. So multiplication by a signal will be the differentiation of the signal in the z domain. Okay, if a signal is multiplied by n, that will be differentiation in the z domain. So z transform of such signal will be equal to, so how you will write, what is the formula of the signal? If it is minus z into d by dz of x of z, so you have to write it as equal to minus z into d by dz of x of z. Okay, minus z into d by dz of x of z. Okay, so what is the differentiation of, again substitute for x of z here. What is x of z? It is 1 upon z minus a. So x of z can be written as 1 upon z minus a. Okay. So differentiate 1 upon z minus a. So what is the differentiation of that? Can anyone tell? What is the differentiation of 1 upon z minus a with respect to z? I want someone to answer. Shivam?
minus 1 by z minus a whole square.
Wait, can you repeat?
Minus 1 by z minus a whole square.
Okay, correct. So that will be here you will get a minus 1 upon z minus a square. Z minus a square. Okay, finally you will get it as, if you arrange it, finally you will get it as z upon a square. Okay, so once again we will see that x of n is equal to n into a raised to n minus 1. So here the shifting of the signal is also there. Okay, it is shifted by 1 unit and there is a multiplication by n also. So two properties of the Z transform can be applied here, that is shifted signal, that property, and the multiplication of the signal is in differentiation in the Z domain. So first, without shifting, let us take the signal as a raised to n. So considering x1 of n as a raised to n, applying the z transform, we got it as z upon z minus a. So x of z is z upon z minus a. Now I'll shift the signal by 1 unit. So the signal will now change to a raised to n minus 1. Applying the shifting property of the signal, time shifted property, z transform will be multiplied with z inverse. Okay, so the signal will be now z inverse of x1 of z. So z inverse into x1 of z is z upon z minus a. By arranging, we will get it as 1 upon z minus a. Now one more term is remaining, that is n. It has to be multiplied with n. So n into a raised to n minus 1. So multiplication is by n is differentiation in the z domain. So now it will be minus z into d by dz of x of z. Okay. So if you differentiate the signal x of z, which is 1 upon z minus a, you will get it as minus 1 upon z minus a square. So rearranging, you will get it as z upon z minus a square. So this is the z transform of n into a raised to n minus 1. Now one more example we will see. Find the z transform of the signal e raised to minus nt u of n, where a is real, where a value is real. So x of z, if we apply 0 to infinity, a raised to minus nt z raised to minus n. Now if you take the term, if you apply the property 1 upon 1 minus c, if you expand, you can expand the x of z as 1 upon 1 minus c. Now the region of convergence for that signal will be 1 upon e raised to at into z should be less than 1, because it was e raised to minus at z inverse. That can be written as 1 upon e raised to at z should be less than 1, or e raised to at should be greater than 1. The z value should be greater than e raised to minus 8. Now if I take a as imaginary, okay, the same question I am taking here, only change is instead of a being real, I am making it as imaginary. So let us see what are the changes happening. So x of z for that signal is also 1 upon 1 minus e raised to minus 8 z inverse. Now the region of convergence is e raised to minus 80, z inverse should be less than 1. Now here, if I take the modulus of the term e raised to minus 80, in which a is imaginary. So what is the modulus of that complex signal? What will be the modulus of that? Can anyone tell? It is equal to 1. Since it is imaginary, the modulus of e raised to minus 80 will be equal to 1. So directly that term will get disappear. So only z inverse will exist. So z inverse should be less than 1, or z should be greater than 1. Now in both cases, the z transform is same, but the region of convergence is different. Okay, even though the signal is same, only difference is the a became imaginary here, so the region of convergence has changed. Okay, so let us do a numerical as a test. Then Did you got the question?
Yes, ma'am.